With your continued support and with God's help, we're going to make America great again. Serving the American people in this office has been a journey I never expected. It's a journey that would not have been possible without the support of my family.
And so this Memorial Day, as the roar of thunder heads around the track, I want you to know, when those planes fly over Speedway, Indiana, there'll be a little bit of mist in this American's eyes because you got the job done. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the very best Memorial Day. This is Mike Pence.
Michael Richard Pence, born June 7, 1959, in Columbus, Indiana. Michael was one of 6 children of Anne Jane Nancy Pence and Edward Joseph Pence Jr. Mike Pence is of German and Irish descent with a very successful upbringing. His father, Edward Pence Jr., served in the United States Army during the Korean War. He received the Bronze Star in 1953, which Mike still holds in his office to this day. Mike Pence was actually a Democrat in his earlier years, following after the rest of his family, even voting for Jimmy Carter in the 1980 presidential election. Mike was inspired to take part in politics by people such as John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. In 1981, Mike Pence graduated from Hanover University with a Bachelor of Arts and from Purdue University in 1986 after completing the Robert H. McKinney School of Law. While in college, Pence left his childhood Catholic church and became an evangelical, referred to as a born-again Christian, which was a disappointment to his mother. At this time in his life, his political views also started to shift to the right, which Pence says is inspired by the common-sense conservatism of Ronald Reagan. Now, after finishing college, Pence ran for Congress twice, was unsuccessful against incumbent Democrat Philip Sharp. He ran once in 1988 and again in 1990. After the 1988 election, a local Indiana talk show hired Pence to host a weekly half-hour show called Washington Update with Mike Pence.
Is still a big deal. It's the most important promise you'll ever make. And holding people accountable to those promises and holding people accountable to respecting the promises that other people make, to me, what could possibly be a bigger deal than that in this country? Oh, you think the president was involved in the decision?
I'm positive he would be.
Of how to handle it?
If not the president's wife.
Oh, I don't know. We haven't heard a whisper out of the White House on this case. I mean, not a whisper. And the president comments on everything.
In 1995, he started a TV show called The Mike Pence Show. It lasted on air for 4 years.
Commercial break. When we come back, we'll shuffle off all this public policy boring stuff and get into the politics of this thing. You're going to be going out of office. A lot of people are wondering what's next on the horizon. Keep it right there, guys. Indiana Governor Evan Bayh on The Mike Pence Show. We'll be right back.
After 12 years on radio, reaching as many as 18 large radio stations across Indiana, with millions of listeners, he ended the show in 1999 to focus on a run for Congress in 2000. In the year 2000, Mike Pence ran for Congress for Indiana's 2nd District. He won after 6-year incumbent David McIntosh decided to run for governor. Pence represented 19 counties in Indiana and opted for his famous slogan.
People who know me well know I'm a pretty basic guy. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican, in that order.
Pence was elected 4 more times by very comfortable margins. In January 2009, he was elected as the Republican Conference Chairman, the 3rd highest-ranking Republican leadership position at the time. Pence was the first Indiana representative to hold a leadership position in the House since 1981. In 2012, Pence ran for governor of Indiana, which he beat opponent John R. Gregg in a very close race. Pence was sworn in as the 50th governor of Indiana, on January 14, 2013. In January 2009, he was elected as the Republican Conference Chairman, the third highest-ranking Republican leadership position at the time. Pence was the first Indiana representative to hold a leadership position in the House since 1981. In 2012, Pence ran for governor of Indiana, which he beat opponent John R. Gregg in a very close race. Pence was sworn in as the 50th governor of Indiana on January 14, 2013. Michael Pence ran for a second term as governor. He was to face Democrat John R. Gregg in a rematch of the 2012 race. However, Pence filed paperwork ending his campaign on July 15, 2016. As Donald J. Trump announced his selection of Michael Pence as his vice presidential running mate.
The next vice president of the United States, Governor Mike Pence.
Chairman, it is a great honor to move that Michael R. Pence from the state of Indiana be nominated by acclamation by this Republican National Convention as its candidate for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
Without objection, the previous question is ordered. The question is on the motion that the Honorable Michael R. Pence be nominated by acclamation. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. Delegates and alternates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that Governor Michael Pence has the overwhelming support of this convention to be the next Vice President of the United States.
Delegates, friends, and my fellow Americans, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am deeply humbled by your confidence, and on behalf of my family, here and gone, I accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States of America.
Mike Pence took the road to the White House with Donald J. Trump. He held rallies of his own in support of Donald Trump. They were contested by Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton and running mate Tim Kaine.
For the last 7.5 years, we've seen America's place in the world weakened. We've seen an economy stifled by more taxes, more regulation, a war on coal, and a failing health care reform come to be known as Obamacare.
Tim Kaine. After a very long and hard-fought campaign, it was Election Day. Donald J. Trump was elected President of the United States after defeating Hillary Clinton with an electoral vote of 304 to 227. On January 20th, 2017, at noon, Michael Richard Pence became the 48th Vice President of the United States, sworn into office by Justice Clarence Thomas, using Ronald Reagan's Bible in his hand.
I, Michael Richard Pence, do solemnly swear.
I, Michael Richard Pence, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Vice President.